The man stuffed a plastic spoon into his mouth and forcefully wedged it in his throat. Then he desperately banged against the wall to attract the attention of the guards. He had just been framed for killing his superior and could only use this method to escape and save himself. Once he was sent to the hospital, while some of the policemen went to the registration window, he pretended to vomit again. Taking advantage of his colleague's habit of being clean, he followed his colleague to the restroom alone. Although his hands were handcuffed, it didn't affect the speed of his punches. After knocking his colleague unconscious, Guang Yao successfully found the key to unlock the handcuffs from his colleague's pocket. He fled frantically and quickly managed to shake off the police pursuit. He returned to the crime scene and, with his many years of criminal investigation experience, he noticed something unusual on a cabinet. He remembered that during the last dinner with Chief Yi, the latter had clearly said that he had already quit drinking. So why was there still a wine cabinet in his house? He moved the cabinet and indeed found a hidden door behind the wall. Inside the hidden door was a pair of glasses with a camera. After connecting the glasses to his mobile phone, a counterfeiting den appeared on the screen. Chief Yi was assassinated by a criminal organization precisely because of this piece of evidence, and Guang Yao was hunted down because he accidentally witnessed all of this. Suddenly, the killer appeared and attacked him. After the killer committed the murder last time, he didn't find this recording, so he could only lurk nearby and wait. During the fight, the glasses were accidentally crushed. Just then, the policewoman Kai-Ching arrived. The killer immediately chose to retreat, but Guang Yao was caught. At that moment, he was still identified as a murderer on the run. Seeing that he was about to be taken back to the police station again, he had no choice but to confess to Kai-Ching that he had actually traveled from 25 years ago. Kai-Ching was shocked by these words, and since the two had been colleagues for a while, after Guang Yao took the initiative to attach a tracker to himself, Kai-Ching finally let him go. Based on the takeout bag he had noticed in the recording, Guang Yao went to that store and waited. He was sure that the other party would order from this store again. At that time, he just needed to secretly follow and extract the evidence of his being framed from the other party's mouth. However, just as he came to the door of the room and was about to listen to what was being said inside, a gun was suddenly pressed against his forehead, and Guang Yao was dragged in. Fortunately, the tracker he gave to Kai-Ching worked, and the police had already surrounded the building and were conducting a search of the residence. At this time, Guang Yao made an excuse that he had gotten lost and entered the wrong place. But the robbers were not stupid and directly started beating him. Guang Yao had no choice but to fight back. But this was a residential area after all. Once the gunshots rang out, it would definitely attract the police, and then everyone would be caught. Then, using the evidence in his hand as a bargaining chip, he demanded to meet the leader of the gang. Seeing that the police had already passed by the door, the man with the beard had to agree and ordered his subordinates to pack up and retreat. But just as they were about to get into the car downstairs, Guang Yao suddenly felt that the license plate of the car in front of him looked familiar. It was exactly the car that had been parked at the door on the night Chief Yi was killed. He immediately thought of a way to prove his innocence. After arriving at an abandoned factory, he pretended to go get the evidence and suddenly snatched the pistol from the man with the beard and started shooting. After driving the other party away, the police finally arrived at the scene. Guang Yao took the dashboard camera from the car, and it clearly recorded everything that happened on the night Chief Yi was killed. He finally managed to prove his innocence.